Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and distinguished guests, good morning to you all. Martin Luther King Jr. said, if a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets like Michelangelo painted, or Shakespeare wrote poetry, or Beethoven composed music. He should sweep streets so well that the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well. All men matter. You matter, I matter, everybody can make a difference. Today I'm going to talk about my mother, who I think made a difference in the life of two anonymous persons whom she never met in her lifetime. My mother used to tell me when I was a kid, every day you wake up, you have to thank God for some simple reasons. He has given you two eyes to see this beautiful world. He has given you these legs, these hands, a beautiful family, a home, and friends. We could take all these for granted, but there are many people in this world who are disabled and physically challenged and are not blessed with the basic essentials. So you have to thank Him just for this one reason. My parents lived in a small village in India. They were quite happy that God has given their children good education, good jobs, and happy marriages. The last 10-15 years, they have been actively involved in giving back to the community. They distributed close to 6,000 poor people. They provided food to the needy. And my mother used to provide food on a regular basis to two homeless disabled persons. One was blind and one did not have legs. My mother was quite healthy until 3 years before she was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. It is a rapidly progressive, invariably fatal neurological disorder that affects the nerve cells that are responsible for controlling the voluntary muscles. And the prognosis of the disease is not good at all. There is no cure for this disease. In the first 1 year itself, her hands got completely paralyzed, her legs got completely paralyzed. She was bedridden from then onwards. Just 2 years into her disease, her throat muscles got affected, which means she was not able to talk. And the worst part was she would cry, and then someone else had to wipe her tears. But apart from my dad, there were two other people who were taking care of my mother on a regular basis. They used to provide her food. It took two people and 1 hour of their time to feed her, to give her one meal. One person had to hold her head like that, and the other person had to feed her with a spoon. So life was really tough for her. And the only parts of her body that were working at that time were her eyes, her ears, but she had complete cognition. Life changed very drastically for all our family members. My dad sold his 90 acres of land so that he can devote his entire time in taking care of my mother. I made 5 visits to India in the last 2-3 years so that I can go and see my mother. In one of my visits, I asked my mother, you have given so much to the community, and God has put you through all this. You can't walk, you cannot eat by yourself, you can't even twist by yourself in the bed. You need someone else's help. Aren't you angry with God? She said, not at all. I still admire God for whatever He has given me until now. I used to discuss about my parents' community work and about my mom's condition with some of my close friends. One of my friend Patricia said, I think God is testing your parents' faith and dedication. He wants to see if she can still give back, if they still have it in them to give back to the community. I myself felt, I mean, what can they possibly do now? Their lives have changed so badly. Last week of February, I got a call from my brother in India saying that my mother's breathing got affected and that she has been hospitalized. The doctors hardly gave her 3 to 10 days from then. So I rushed to India, and I was at least able to see her, before the inevitable happened 24 hours after my visit. 10 minutes after her death, my dad called me close by and told me, your mother asked me to donate both of her eyes to the eye donation bank. I know my mother very well. As she was bedridden and completely helpless with her disease, she still would have thought really hard to see how she can still make a difference in the life of others. And I think she really made a difference in the life of these two anonymous people. In 48 hours from then, These two eyes that my mom has given were transplanted to two blind people. Each person got one eye. That way both are benefited. So now that you are convinced that you want to make a difference, I'll give you 3 difference-making strategies. The first one is identify when to make a difference. Can you make a difference at each and every opportunity? Probably not. If you are attempting to make a difference at each and every opportunity, you're bound to fail. No, remember, nobody is forcing you to do extraordinary things. You are making a difference because you want to and you can. The second strategy is identify to whom you can make a difference. You can make a difference to your customers, your friends, your relatives, your family members, your teammates, your boss, or even to strangers. Actually, 2 years before, on a very sunny afternoon, I and my wife were driving on I-75, and suddenly we had a flat tire. I called the AAA, I took the nearest exit, and I called the AAA agent. The AAA's representative was there in the next 15 minutes. The first thing that he did was to offer us 2 bottles of water. And he told us, please have this water while I'm fixing the tire. He didn't have to offer water to us, but he wanted to make a difference with his customer service. We were thrilled with his customer service. After that, when I had to renew my AAA membership, would I doubt it? No, I would just go for it, right? And then if you can still make a difference in your family members. You can transform ordinary family interactions into extraordinary experiences by applying these principles at home. You can make a difference with your teammates. High-performance teams are made up of high-performance team members. Someone has to go first, why not you? You can make a difference even in the life of strangers. When you do that, you restore faith in the potential of human behavior. The third thing is be the difference. The third strategy is be the difference. A little thought and reflection will help you realize the kind of a difference you can make in any action or event. Now that you want to make a difference, the challenge is to be the difference maker. True difference making cannot be delegated. It is up to us to take action. I would like to conclude by reiterating the 3 difference-making strategies. The first one is identify when to make a difference. The second one is target the people to whom you want to make a difference. And the third one is be the difference. Remember, nobody can prevent you from trying to be exceptional. At the end of the day, the only question that matters is what kind of a difference did you make? Mr. Toastmaster.